Hi, my name is Ivy Hall. I'm the Business Development Executive at Momentous Capital. I manage a small business loan fund, and my object is this access card for Georgia Tech.
Can you describe your object?
Yes, it's my access badge. It gives me access here to the Scheller College of Business on the Georgia Tech campus where I am an executive MBA student. My major is management of technology.
What do you do?
So I love what I do. I manage a commercial real estate loan fund that's dedicated towards small business owners. And with this commercial real estate loan fund, it's all about helping small business owners have ownership in the communities that they serve, but also it helps them to get out of expensive leases because if you know anything about commercial real estate as a small business owner, to rent or to lease commercial real estate, it can be very expensive. And it's very, very similar to when you think about purchasing a home. Would you want to rent forever and not have any ownership, or would you like the opportunity to purchase and to be able to build equity? And so that's the opportunity that the loan fund provides. And again, it's solely for small business owners, and it's a wonderful product. I really enjoy working with the clientele because a lot of them, they're looking for ways to, number one, save money, but then number two, with real estate, it can appreciate and then the client has the opportunity to earn their equity as well. So it's a very dynamic product and I really enjoy what I do. I'm working with the clients.
Why finance?
Ooh, I think finance chose me. I originally thought I was going to be a journalist, being on CNN and NBC or MTV doing like road rules or the top 20 countdown, but I didn't end up on that boat. I did try journalism, however, and I did that for about a year and a half. However, when I got into the world of finance and banking, I learned a lot. And one thing about it is, initially I was a branch manager, so I was very customer facing, and it provided me with the opportunity to gain a lot of data about some of the struggles that different populations have within the financial literacy space. And it really pushed me to want to, number one, educate people on how to become more financially savvy, but two, being able to take ideas up the ladder to other departments and help create products, also help create strategies as well that can really help diverse populations within the banking and lending space.
What does a typical workday look like for you?
Typical work days include working out in the morning, but honestly, the first thing I do when I wake up is I always try to start my day with gratitude. So just taking a pause before my feet touch the floor, before I really start thinking about anything that's left on my to-do list from the previous day, I always just try to take a few seconds back and just check in with myself, really be thankful and be present in the moment. After that, I do work out. And then after working out, normally I get the kids off to school. So I do have two little ones. So my son goes to Montessori school. I get my daughter on the bus so that she can go to school. And then from there, I have the flexibility to work from home, which is really awesome. So some days I'm working from home, taking calls, really making sure that my pipeline is ready and that the deals that are getting ready to close, that they're in tip-top shape to close. Outside of that, I do meet with a lot of clients as well. So I meet with a lot of clients. I go out to their sites. I look at their current locations. Sometimes we just meet for coffee, just to really start having those discovery conversations to see how I can really help the client and really understanding what their needs are. You know, I do manage this loan fund and it has a specific job and a specific aim. However, before just really starting the conversation off like that with my clients, I really try to take a few minutes to understand their business model, how do they really gain revenue, and really look for those things as to how the product that I have can really be applied to what their specific need is. And then from there, making calls, drinking coffee, checking in with, colleagues as well. And then normally around 3 or 4, that's when the kids are coming home. It's time to make dinner or maybe eat leftovers, depending on which case. Sometimes it's DoorDash because life does get busy, and I try not to put too much pressure on myself to make sure that it's a home cooked meal every single day because balancing so many things, sometimes it can just be just crazy to put that amount of pressure on myself, but I do try to make sure that they eat something green or some type of fruit every day and just make sure that we have a well balanced diet. And then from there, I get a little playtime in with them. I also take some time for myself. One thing I try to do every evening is take a nice long bath just to take some time again to just take time for myself. So I start the day off with some gratitude, but I normally try to end my day with a nice long bath, a candle, some music. Sometimes it's affirmations, just depending on what's going on. And I really kind of relax from the rest of the day.
How does your object aid in the day to day task of your industry?
This object is very important because currently, again, I'm studying for my executive MBA, so it's my MBA. Also, again, the focus is in the management of technology. It does help every day because for the past almost 12 months now, I've been learning from industry leaders in terms of what's coming down the pipeline for strategy, for technology, and working within the CDFI space and with mission based lenders. A lot of the crossover is getting into fintech. And so going to Georgia Tech and learning how to manage technology, learning how to apply different strategies so that products, services, and platforms can be successful is very, very instrumental in my day to day. Not only am I taking some of the ideas and the concepts that I'm learning from school and applying them directly into my day to day life, but oftentimes as I'm consulting with my clients, I'm always able to make a valuable recommendation based on me having industry knowledge. And some of the leaders that I'm talking to, they're high professionals within their respective industries, from marketing strategies to strategic development, product design. And so being able to talk to clients as well as leaders within my company about, hey, these are some fresh ideas coming directly off the pipeline. It gets me a lot of great attention in the boardroom, and it gets me a lot of great attention with my clients as well. You know, it helps me to become a true trusted advisor. They know that I'm not just talking to them about the loan fund, but I'm also talking to them about ideas and strategies that can really help them grow and scale their business.
Why did you decide to pursue your MBA?
Okay, there's a funny story behind the executive MBA, but it's a couple of reasons. So before I get to the funny story, I'll tell some of the practical side of it. One thing is that I relocated to Georgia a little under 3 years ago. And so when I came here, I was working for a fintech company then and doing really great work, meeting a lot of amazing people. But the decision to pursue my executive MBA, particularly here at Georgia Tech, is one, just because of the strong network and the strong brand that Georgia Tech has. Another reason is that looking for a natural way to increase my network. You know, there's a saying that your net worth is valued as much as your network. And so I wanted a way to just exponentially grow my network within a natural way, as well as making sure that I'm aligned with, again, industry leaders and people in professions and respective segments that could provide some inside knowledge to me to help me grow professionally, as well as things that I could provide to them and perspectives that I could provide to them as well. So Georgia Tech is a very diverse school. They're known globally. They have a strong global brand. So not only just being, you know, respected here in the Atlanta, the metro Atlanta area or here within the state of Georgia, but the Georgia Tech name has a very strong brand. And so being able to take that into conversations and again, some of the ideas and the concepts that I'm learning in class that I can directly apply to Monday. So I'm going to class on a weekend, Friday and Saturday, and then sometimes in a meeting on Monday and Tuesday, I'm able to immediately apply those concepts and ideas. It's really helped me to elevate my status, again, not only within my company and my organization, but also with some of the other organizations that I serve on, and again, as well as my clients, really being that trusted leader, trusted advisor. They know if they need something, they can come to me. And if they come to me for one thing, they'll probably leave with at least two or three great ideas on top of that.
So, what's the funny story?
Okay. Funny story. Glad you reminded me of that. The funny story is, you know, I grew up in a time where a movie called Legally Blonde was very popular. And so Legally Blonde is about Elle going to law school. She went through a breakup and she was going to law school to get the guy back. So my funny story is that when I moved to Georgia, it was shortly after my, divorce, my breakup, and I'll be honest with you all, I'm a true lover girl. I love to be in a relationship. I love to be wined, dined, and taken on trips. That's always the mission. However, instead of just getting back into another relationship or jumping on a dating app, I wanted to take some time to really pour into myself and figure out a way how could I become more dynamic in the workspace. And so instead of again being entertained by a man, I got entertained by another D, which is my degree that I'm pursuing. And so that's what makes it really funny. I think about Legally Blonde, and here I am attending Georgia Tech, and I really call myself like technically black/brown. So it's kind of like that different story, not trying to pursue a man, but really just trying to distract myself because men can be very distracting. And oftentimes, as a woman, if you don't take time in between breakups and relationships, you don't really take time to heal. You don't take time to figure out or reassess where your boundaries are. You don't take time to really pour love back into yourself. It's very easy to get attention and love or to get love bombed. And I've had some amazing love bomb experiences. But instead of just jumping back into that, I said, what is something that I can do that can help me grow professionally, help me earn more money? And I'll tell you this part of the story as well. I've been a stay at home mom 2 times. Been well taken care of 2 times, but one thing about it, when you go through breakups, you realize the power of being able to have your own income, also being able to maneuver when you have your own income. And so I wanted to make sure that whether it was another relationship or just my future, that number one, I had hit some of the financial numbers on my own that I desired to. And so I already had the career in place. And so going to Georgia Tech has definitely multiplied that financially as well as educationally.
What is a cliche about working in finance that you wish people better understood?
Ooh, a couple of cliches, but one is just that you need to talk to your banker. And when they're making recommendations, everything is not about sales. Some of those recommendations can really be life changing, whether it's life insurance, whether it's a retirement account, whether it's a savings account that has a high interest yield to it. Sometimes we do need to listen because oftentimes I've had clients, they have hundreds of $1,000s in a regular savings account. You try to make a recommendation on how they can at least be earning more interest on that account, and the account can still be liquid. But if you don't listen, or if you think you're just being sold something, you can be missing out on the opportunity for the bank to be putting money into your pocket or for other financial institutions to be putting money into your pocket. And so specifically when it comes to retirement accounts, investments, and life insurance, just demystifying some of those things so that clients can understand that there are so many benefits to these vehicles. And yes, somebody will possibly get a commission, but the biggest thing is, what is this vehicle putting you and your future generations in a position for? Is this vehicle truly putting you and your future generations in a positive, more financially free position? And that's what you should focus on. All of life is about sales. When you're on Instagram, you're being sold. When you're on YouTube, you're being sold. When you pick up your phone is listening to things. They're showing you ads. Life is either sell or be sold. But the thing about it is understanding what is the value. And so instead of just immediately thinking, oh, I don't need that, listen to understand, because a lot of products out there are very dynamic. And the time value of money is very real, and we'll talk about that later. But the biggest thing is that you should always be saving early and saving often. And that's how you truly help your money grow.
Final question. How can our audience get in touch with you and learn more about potential small business funding?
Sure. So you can go to momentuscapital.com. That's where I currently work. And if you go to Momentus Capital, you will see a page about Empower. And Empower is the loan fund that I currently manage. And then outside of that, you can also look me up on LinkedIn. I'm Ivy Hall. This will sound funny, but not the dispensary. There's an Ivy Hall dispensary on LinkedIn. I'm not the dispensary. I'm just Ivy Hall. So you'll see that on LinkedIn. And then lastly, you can connect with me on Instagram. It's IvyB_financially free. Learn more about me and my featured story at theboldmaven.com.